Welcome back, family, to our wonderful channel. It was a morning that began with the scent of incense and the distant, rhythmic pulse of the dole drum. Today, on Leicester's famed Golden Mile, the grey English sky was momentarily forgotten, parted by a vision in saffron and silk. The Princess of Wales has arrived, and with her, a moment that many are calling the most significant cultural bridge-building exercise of the modern reign. She wasn't just visiting, she was responding to a call that echoed from the heart of the British Indian community. This was the Hindu Spring Festival, a celebration of rebirth, light, and the triumph of good over evil. But as Catherine stepped out of the royal motorcade, the atmosphere shifted from mere excitement to something closer to a spiritual embrace. Royal family friends, the question on many lips was, why now? And who brought her here? The invitation came not from a government department, but from the elders of the Leicester Hindu community and the Belgrave Neighbourhood Centre. They wanted the future Queen to see the Golden Mile not as a tourist spot, but as the beating heart of British Hindu identity. Upon arrival, she was greeted with a mala, a garland of pearls and red roses. Clasping her hands in a traditional namaste, she murmured a heartfelt, "Thank you so much for having me. I've heard some fantastic things." The palace, we understand, viewed this as a critical soft power mission. In a post-Brexit Britain, the royal family knows that the crown must be seen to reflect every face in the mosaic of the United Kingdom, or risk becoming a relic of the past. Then, there was the dress. For years, the princess has used her wardrobe as a silent language, and today, she spoke in volumes. She chose a striking, cream-hued ensemble, a nod to the tradition of wearing light colors during Holi to represent equality. But the inspiration went deeper, a subtle tribute to the craftsmanship of the East, accented by her Dina earrings, handcrafted in India. The intricate embroidery on her sleeves was crafted by local artisans, a pivot from her usual high street favorites. By choosing this attire, she wasn't just wearing a costume, she was wearing an acknowledgement. She was signaling that she had done her homework, that she respected the craftsmanship of the East as much as the couture of the West. Our royal family friends, but the most dramatic moment came at the threshold of the Shreeji Dham Haveli temple. In a move that sent the crowd into a frenzy of respect, the princess removed her heels. Barefoot, and entirely unpretentious, she stepped onto the cold stone floor. As she watched the Okoshodidra dancers move with breathtaking precision, she leaned in to tell them, "You must be super fit because it's super energetic. My children would love that, they love their dancing. Louis would love your routine." She joined the traditional dancing, her movements perhaps a little hesitant, but her smile, radiant. The Hindu community had expected a formal walkthrough, a polite wave and a quick exit. Instead, they got a participant. The feeling on the ground? It was electric. One elder was heard saying, "She didn't come to look at us, she came to be with us." Yet, where there is light, there is often a shadow. Critics argued that this was performative diplomacy. They questioned whether a barefoot dance could truly erase the complexities of colonial history. But at Bobby's restaurant, as she sampled spicy pakodas and tea, she laughed off the formality. When asked about the heat of the chili, she reassured her hosts with a smile. "I'm okay with spice." Before jokingly adding, "But William is less of a fan of coriander." The tabloids, however, had a different story. Headlines in the Daily Mail and the Express screamed of a radiant Catherine. They focused on the mobbing of the princess, the sheer volume of fans who broke through security cordons just to touch her hand. To the tabloids, this wasn't politics, it was Kate Mania 2.0. They see her as the monarchy's only insurance policy. Royal friends, for the royal lovers, this was a triumph of the highest order. They saw a woman coming into her own, stepping out from the shadow of tradition into a new, inclusive light. They see a princess who isn't afraid to get her feet dusty, if it means healing a divide. The impact of this visitation cannot be understated. One shopkeeper noted, "It was absolutely amazing, an honor, we couldn't even dream of something like this happening." The royal family is said to be delighted, relieved, even, that the princess can still command such raw, genuine affection without the need for pomp and pageantry. As the sun began to set over Belgrave Road, one thing became clear. The Princess of Wales didn't just visit Leicester today. She signaled a shift, a movement toward a monarchy that listens, that learns, and that isn't afraid to walk barefoot into the future.
Thank you so much.
Is this the new face of the British crown? Only time will tell, but for the thousands who stood on the Golden Mile today, the answer was written in the radiant smile of a princess who finally came home, to a community she had never truly met before. Thank you for watching The Crown's Chronicle. What did you think of the princess's spice tolerance? Was it a masterstroke of diplomacy, or just another photo op? Let us know in the comments below.
To like this video and subscribe for more royal insights. Until next time, stay regal and stay curious.